So the last table to discuss and add to the model is the order line fact table. Okay, in addition to each of the surrogate foreign keys, providing direct links with a four-dimension table listed right here, a degenerate dimension coming from the original production order number is kept for reference as shown here. Okay, if you review the order table in the production data file, you will notice that after removing customers, employees, and finally the order dates and putting those into separate dimensions, order ID is the only thing left from that operational table. That's sort of easy to see right here, right? This becomes dimension, this becomes dimension, this becomes dimension, this is the only thing left. Okay? This is the definition of a degenerate dimension, and as such, it's typically kept in a fact table in case we need to reference back to the production system. Other than that, the quantity of the product ordered by a particular customer on a given date and taken by a specific employee, together with a dollar amount at the bottom, which is going to be calculated for wholesale customers based on a wholesale price if available. Otherwise, the product retail price will be used to complete this fact table. All right, so we'll switch and create a final entity for this dimensional model called order line underscore fact. Okay, in our ER assistant. Okay, so it's going to be called order line fact, order line underscore fact. Okay, we'll make it a weak entity, and again, we don't particularly care about this anymore. We'll add for the attributes the foreign keys, right, which is, as you know, a violation of the ERD, one of the ERD rules, but we'll do it here because we need them. So we'll start with order date underscore key, then we'll add customer key, then we'll add product key, and finally the employee key. Okay, we'll check each one of these as primary keys, right? Which I've forgotten to do. Each one of them is a primary key, and then we'll add the degenerate dimension order DD coming from the production system, and finally the two measurement facts we are really interested in, quantity and amount. Okay, we're going to simply call them that, and then we'll close this and put it square into the middle of this design. Okay, then what we'll do, each order dimension, each of the dimensions is going to be linked up directly to the order line fact table as shown essentially on the last slide here. So we can use that slide to sort of help ourselves complete this design. So we have the relationship new called has, okay, where each order date dimension has, okay, which is mandatory, has multiple optional order line facts. The optional coming from the fact that there could be some days that there are no orders, although that's not obviously that likely, and that needs to be also the identifying relationship, although again we don't particularly care about that at this point. Okay, then we're going to quickly add the offers as in product dimension. Okay, one product is offered in the order line fact multiple times. All right, we'll make this mandatory. Okay, and again identifying. Okay, and then we'll have the places, customer places, orders, identifying relationship, connecting the customer dimension, one mandatory, to the order line fact, many mandatory, right? And okay, right here needs to be fiddled with a little bit. And finally, keep saving, right? We will add the last dimension takes, where each of the employees, okay, Each of the employees takes many orders. The only problem, of course, is that the order taken is not mandatory for the order taken is not mandatory for the managers, although again that's not terribly important here. So if you save that and then switch back to the presentation and compare to the what is almost the final slide in this whole dimensional modeling part of the class, you'll see that it should match pretty well. At the bottom, I have the reference to the Sports Data Mart SQL file, which I'll quickly review, but I'm not going to use it today. We'll quickly review it if we can find it. And I have it right here as well. In addition to all the create table statement, it has a query that we'll use later on as well. Not important right now, and it has all the data types, all the dimensional attributes for customer, employee, product, order date, and finally the order line fact with all the constraints referencing each one of the dimensions. So please check that out as well. Okay, back to the presentation. The final slide, right, is the summary. So in the preceding series of videos, we introduced the dimensional modeling for data warehouses. Okay, this approach largely embraces Kimball's star schema data mart design with a single fact table surrounded with all the necessary and needed dimensions. Both fact and dimension tables were defined and described in sufficient detail using retail sales, student registration, various inventory examples as well. Finally, an order management dimensional model based on the data in our simple sporting goods order entry production database was created with ER Assistant over the last few videos, right? Its customer, product, employee, and order date dimensions and the order line fact table designs were extracted from the operational sources and will be implemented in our last series of videos on data warehouse implementation and ETL.